The Arex Delta M Gen 2. Let's check it out. Recently we did a review on the Arex Delta. You know, there's a lot of firearms coming into the country and a lot of choices. And again, I call this the golden age of firearms. There are so many different options out there to fit anyone. But because there's so many, sometimes, you know, I'm not all that excited about a new handgun. I mean, it's a polymer frame, striker fire pistol, shoots well, great, blah, blah, blah. But one of the things about the Arex Delta is that it shoots really flat. And two, it's really thin. Those were two things that I took away from this handgun that really impressed me. And guys, honestly, at this point, it's hard to seriously impress me. But one of the things, though, that to me was a deterrent, maybe more market-wise than anything, was the grip. It has some different type features to it that you just don't see. Now, sometimes that's a plus. But with this, it just seemed to be a little bit different. Now, Arex Delta has introduced their Gen 2, and this is the M model. It's the compact, same as the original that we did. Now, there are some other versions of this. There's the L, which is more of a full-size gun. But the M is optics ready, and again, it shoots flat, and again, it's super thin. But the grip has been changed, and to me, drastically improved. Arex Defense has been around for over 25 years, guys, and this is not just some clone. It's just not a, budget type firearm. Now, Nate over at Gun Zone Deals sent the Arex Delta M and the original Arex Delta. And guys, he has been really excited about this firearm. After having a lot of experience with it, I understand why. Well, guys, there's a number of different features that the Gen 2 brings to the table. Of course, obviously, we have our optics ready, and that's a big one. And it seems like that's really the direction that most of your self-defense pistols are going. And there's a number of different ones that are offered out there. So what is it about the Arex that's any different? What is it that, brings this, to market, which would be appealing for those who are looking for a concealed carry or for just a regular self-defense pistol? Of course, first thing we want to do is safety check the firearm. We're going to drop our magazine. It is 15 plus 1, and then we'll check the chamber, and it's empty. Now, it also comes with a 17-round magazine. A little bit more extended base plate, but really, it's a compact pistol already, so it just gives you a little extra, especially if you have really large hands. I have medium hands, so yeah, I can imagine with somebody with larger hands, that's going to give them just a little bit of gripping surface. Now, the Arex Delta is made in Slovenia, and it's imported by Global Ordnance. Now, the M is the compact version. They do make a Model L in the Gen 2, and I'm sure that the S or subcompact is in the works. This is in the gray frame. It does come in black and also FDE. Now, we reviewed the original Delta Gen 1 back in October 2020. It had been out for a little while. Is a little bit different. The grip has a little bit of some angular shapes to it, but I knew that Arex Defense was really an excellent company. I mean, they've been around for a long time, and they do make military firearms. But honestly, as far as shooting this gun, I found that it was super flat shooting, and it's super thin, and there's just some real benefits to that if you're going to carry something and you want that extra capacity, 15 in 1. But as you see with the new Gen 2, one of the big things is the grip has been completely changed. And to me, it's much more appealing. It feels better in your hand, and it just has that laser kind of texturing on here that gives it almost that skateboard feel, but yet without the abrasion that you're going to get snagging clothes. So it's very grippable, but yet it's not going to be uncomfortable. And I'll tell you guys, I really like the improvements of the grip. That was a big plus for me. But honestly, even with the Gen 1, even though this grip is a little bit angular, I found that with these pyramid type shapes on here, it was really easy to grab, and I enjoyed it. But I'm really glad that they bumped it up. Now, one other thing they've done is they've added 3 slots for the Picatinny rail, and here on the Gen 1, it's just 1. So this is just going to give you more options with different lights and lasers. The slide itself is pretty much the same as the original, except obviously with the slide cuts for your RMR. And they do offer a number of plates other than just the RMR footprint, and you can check that out on the Arex Defense website. Now, again, this is just a very thin firearm. That's probably one of the biggest things that I love about this gun is it's 15+1, and yet it's just really thin. And one of the guns that we kind of brought out originally with the first one was the Ruger Security 9. It is one of the thinnest handguns out there, but honestly, I think that the Arex Delta is a little bit thinner. In fact, we measured it on the first review, and it is. Now, when I say thinnest out there, I'm saying thinnest for this size firearm. Obviously, there are other thinner handguns. To give you a comparison, we wanted to bring out the Glock 19 because this is kind of the gold standard for a lot of firearms. One big thing about the Arex Delta is that it is thinner. It's considerably thinner, and it just really feels very natural. I'm a huge fan of the Glock 19. I've been shooting these things for years. And this has been my go-to firearm for a long time. But I'll tell you, guys, this little Arex is really appealing to me for the same purposes I would use the Glock 19. Now, this is, of course, with the MOS version, and it does have one of the HMRs, which is specifically for handgun. But this is a little bit thicker. And, guys, when you're concealed carrying, thinness is a huge part of it. The size, the silhouette is definitely important, but having it thin, close to your body, to me, just makes this a big, appealing firearm. The Arex Delta is a little thinner than even the Gen 5 Glock. Just has a little bit more thinness here, and of course it has thinness on the slide itself. And it does have a very low bore axis. In fact, if you look at this, it really rides really close to what the Glock is on its sights. And the Glock has a really low bore axis. And that's going to really help mitigate recoil as well, because the slide is coming closer to your hand as it comes back. And so you're not having that as much muzzle rise as you do with firearms that have that higher bore axis. Now, of course, with the optic, you're not necessarily going to use sights, but you can use this with just the cover plate remaining. But the sights themselves, very nice angle to it. It has serrations. It does have a little bit of a cocking shelf. And then we have, of course, that front dovetailed sight. These are compatible with your XDM sights. And so Springfield, you have a ton of different options. And one thing that this will take, and I don't have them here, I showed them in the first review, is that this will take CZ P10C or the P10 series magazines. They do hang out just a little bit, but it's the same magazine as your P10 series. Now, sometimes when you're having new firearms, magazines can be pretty expensive, but these are $29.95 on the Gun Zone Deals website, and that's the 15 and the 17 rounders. As far as holster options, which is a big deal, Global Ordnance has produced a A&R holster that's inside the waistband. That's also available at Gun Zone Deals. And then there are other companies that are making them. I just did a search for different holsters, and there's a number of different companies making outside the waistband and inside the waistband holsters. And for that matter, there's a lot of guys that do custom Kydex holsters, and they can definitely hook you up. Now, it has a loaded chamber indicator here at the top, and then here at the back we have a cocked striker indicator, this red dot. And so as we pull the trigger, it just disappears. We have front and rear cocking serrations, and the way they're angled, it's actually very comfortable to grab. It's easy, kind of bites into your hand. But also with the RMR, a lot of times guys will use that as well, which makes it really easy just to grab and pull back. The mag release is right here, and we have it ambidextrous on the other side. It's pretty subdued. You're not going to hit this inadvertently, and that's really important when you have an ambidextrous mag release. We have our slide lock right here, and it does have a little step that gives you a little extra bite on some of the striker fire pistols. And then we have our takedown tabs, which are very similar to the Glock. Kind of a squared off trigger guard, plenty of room for gloved hands. And we have these angles at the front of the slide, which help it, going into holsters. This is a nitro-carburized finish, so it's going to be impervious to the elements. The barrel is a forged one-piece barrel, and it is 4 inches in length. Now the pistol comes with the medium back strap, and then there's a small, a large, and then there's the extra large that kind of extends a little bit here in this area. Just because it's really thin doesn't mean it can't suit you no matter what your hand size is. And all you do is drive the pin out and you can pull this right off. Now the trigger retains that same kind of angular shape to it, but it's beveled, and so it keeps you from actually wearing on your finger. I really like the trigger. Now, one of the things, it has the trigger safety right here, so this is going to block any trigger action like this unless you're pressing the little safety. We're going to look at the trigger action. A little bit of take up right here. Nice crisp break. Reset. Very fast and tactile and audible. Guys, I'm very impressed with this trigger, especially for a striker fire pistol. Let's check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells. 4 pounds, 6.4 ounces. 4 pounds, 13 ounces, and I actually pulled that a little bit. I think this is about a 4.5 pound trigger pull. It's very slick, and so it does ride kind of funny with when I'm pulling that trigger. But again, guys, this has an exceptional trigger. I want to thank Fiocchi for sponsoring our ammo, all made right here in the USA, one of the largest ammo manufacturers in the country, and really good burning stuff. Unfortunately, I forgot my Lula loader, which is a big help. But we can get it done. Now, taking the Gen 1 Arex Delta down to the range, I kind of knew what to expect with the Gen 2. Of course, we were looking forward to getting that optics ready version. I mean, guys, it makes it just so quick to get on target, and it does make it more accurate. You're able to hit just the red dot instead of looking down your sights. So I really like that feature. But aside from that, I really like the new grip. It definitely feels more comfortable in your hand. There's no angles, there's no sharp edges. You just have a very smooth feel to it. And with that laser engraved texturing, it really nestles in your hand well. But the recoil on these, again, guys, it is so flat shooting. The way this gun was designed, and being so thin, it just really points very well. It's going to be easy to conceal. So I really like that about it. I mean, that is one of the big things, is the thinness and the quality of the gun. Of course, we had no malfunctions and just really enjoyed shooting it. Guys, I'm telling you, I highly recommend you getting one of these out to the range, at least to test it out, because it is a sweet shooting firearm. And when it comes to disassembly, drop your magazine, make sure the gun is unloaded. We're gonna pull the trigger, pull back on our tabs just about 1/8 of an inch, and then release. Now it lifts up, it doesn't come all the way off the frame. Have our recoil spring and guide rod. It is all metal. And we have our forged barrel. We have some lightning cuts in the slide to make it a little bit lighter. Very well machined. Definitely very reminiscent of the Glock. And here with the receiver, just your standard striker fire setup. That's all you need to do to field strip. Go ahead and drop in your barrel for reassembly, your recoil spring and guide rod. We're going to bring the slide over, and there's some cutouts here and here, and you just line that up with your rails and then just pull back. And that's it. Very simple, very easy. Comes in a hard case. You have, of course, your paperwork. This is kind of a quick start guide, has all the information. Now with the optic attached, it doesn't fit into the foam case. You could actually cut that out if you want. Again, you get your 17 round magazine. You get a number of different back straps. And we have a cleaning kit, and this has a threaded end, pops it off. And of course you have all your cleaning tools right here. Here we have all of our mounting plates, and you have the tools to install it with the different screws. And you have your Arex Delta sticker and Global Ordnance, which is the importer of the Arex Delta. As far as price goes, on the Global Ordnance website, these retail for $515. On Gun Zone Deals, $465. If you go with the L model, which is the 4.5 inch barrel, it's $485. And if you want to go with the original Gen 1, $399. Guys, really for the price, this is a great deal. I mean, and this is current pricing right now. It's on the Gun Zone Deals website. Magazines are running $29.95, and then your holster is $64. So that gives you a great idea of a really quality firearm and really a very reasonable price. Pros and cons of the Arex Delta. First off, you get a modified grip that really is a big improvement over the Gen 1 optics ready. It's got a very thin profile, and that is one of the things I am big about, and yet it still has the 15 or the 17 round magazine. Your sights are interchangeable with Springfield Armory XD sights, so you're able to get that. They do have holster options, just one so far. There may be some other companies making them, and that would be probably a con, just to be limited, but I'm sure that there are going to be others made. Another big plus is the Picatinny rail, the improvement here. Excellent trigger. Guys, this trigger is phenomenal, and the recoil management on this firearm is exceptional. It shoots really flat. But now also, when you come out with a new firearm, of course, there's still some testing that a lot of people are looking for. The original Arex Delta, though, has been out for a while, and it's really proven itself to be a great firearm. Very reliable. And so I think that you're going to find that the same with the Gen 2. And then, of course, you've got your extended lengths if you want it. This is the M and then the L. I'm sure that they're probably working on a S model for subcompact, which will be a little smaller. We'll just see how that goes. All ambidextrous features. And guys, there's just a lot of great things to say about this firearm. I really like it. It's definitely different, and I see a lot of firearms come through here. But this one has really impressed me. One big pro, again, is the price. And for $465, optics ready, I mean, that is excellent. Typically, what your Glock Gen 5s are running about $550, and of course, right now, they're very difficult to find. Then the MOS version runs even more. And so this, to me, is very comparable, and yet it's a lot more thin. Yeah, I've been shooting Glocks for years. I'm a Glock guy. I love them. And I'm not saying that this is going to replace my Glocks, but I am saying that this will be in my concealed carry rotation because I really love this little firearm. So to me, the Delta M is a lot like my philosophy on the Glock 19. It's a full-size fighting handgun, yet it's small enough to conceal carry. With the Delta M, it's really thin and much thinner than the Glock 19, and yet still carries that 15-in-1 and still feels like a fighting handgun, low recoil, just very little muzzle rise. I mean, that was one of the things that really impressed me. And so if you're looking for just that one gun, I think that the Arex Delta would be a good choice. And again, I want to thank Nate over at Gun Zone Deals for sending the Arex Delta M Gen 2. This is a really sweet shooting little firearm. Guys, if you depend on a firearm for self-defense, it's really important that you don't go it alone. I've been a member of the USCCA, or the United States Concealed Carry Association, for over 4 years, and it really gives you peace of mind. The USCCA was founded to help you understand laws and self-defense education. They offer industry-leading training, and to me, one of the most important features is they offer self-defense liability insurance. They have 100% risk-free, money-back, bulletproof guarantee. I'll have an affiliate link down below in the description. And guys, when it comes to a self-defense situation with USCCA, you have a friend. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Recently we did a review on the, originally we reviewed the Rex, and then we have a striped cocker. We have a striped cocker. We're gonna look at the trigger action. We have a little bit of take up right here. Look at this. Guys, I think you need to check it out. It'd be great to have the Arex that I'm gonna find myself carrying, because it's just a, this has been a great little gun to take. Okay. Let's check the trigger pull weight with our Lyman trigger gauge from Brownells.